Welcome back, I'm the Watch King. On this video, we're going to talk about why buy stainless steel when you can buy gold. A lot of people say that's a price point thing, but we're going to show you that. That's an extra challenge on today's video. We're going to have budget friendly, we're going to have even like middle ground prices, and then some that are, of course, very expensive. But stick around because you're going to see some amazing
ourselves
watches.
around. We did take a trip to the bank, pulled out all these pieces, and we're not going to talk about these too long individually. If you want to, they all contain their own video, so definitely go back in the channel and check them out. But I first want to start with the Omega. Now, this is the most affordable piece on the table, and it is solid gold. It's solid 14 karat. And I want to show this to people because oftentimes they can buy the stainless steel version and it's only a few $100s difference and you can get a solid gold piece. I believe that this looks way better in yellow gold just because it's more of a dress watch and you typically are use precious metals in a dress watch. So you have nothing crazy about this watch. It's just all made by Omega, which is a top house. Omega dial, of course, Romans. You have an insanely detailed crown right there. It's never been, that crown can never be polished. It is way, way too clean. Then we have the case back here, brushed, 14 karat stamp up there. Just all around a really solid watch. Hand wine, true dress watches are hand wine in my opinion. But now I'm just gonna be a little more controversial here and pull up the next watch because it is not a hand wine watch. This is a LaCultra, a little step up from the Omega. Also, I want to discuss right here the difference between 14 and 18 karat. We're not going to get super in depth, but 18 karat is typically what high-end Swiss watchmaking is made. They made 14 karat as a cost saver just because it's a lot less. We're talking 75% versus 58% pure gold. There's a reason why they don't do all gold. That's because it is way too soft. It can bend. You can hit it on things and chunks of gold will come off. So typically they cap it at 18 karat. But 14 karat is fine. It's used by brands like Omega. Rolex has used 14 karat many times. So it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just that it's a harder material, but it is also, remember, a cost saver back in the day. There's many Rolex Daytonas made and tons of stuff made in 14 karat, so it's not a knock on the metal. Just 18 karat has a different luster, but of course that has to do with polish. So this particular watch is a LaCultra, also JLC. It's just LaCultra on the dial is the brand. They made for Patek, they made for many of the top watchmakers. They're quote unquote the watchmaker's watchmaker. That's what a lot of people use. That's their nickname in the community, I should say. This particular one is pretty cool. It's actually really nice. Super thin watch. You have, of course, the little bubble. It's not, yeah, I guess you can say it's a little lip there to hide the, well, to fit the rotor, I should say. 18 karat stamp there. And just something super simplistic, but also really, really nice. And you're getting, if this was a Patek, you would be paying pretty much 10 times the price almost. So you're getting a really, really amazing LaCultra here. And of course, look at those lugs. It's just so nice from the 50s. Just incredible, incredible piece. Now, jumping to our next one might be surprising because not a lot of these are out there. Not a lot of collectors are gravitating towards them, but I think that's a mistake. I think that this watch is so nice, especially this particular one because it's 100% original Rolex. You have the brushing on the dial there, on the silver dial. You have sub-second. You have gold markers, 18 karat gold case, and that's something that is just incredible. You see a lot of the 1908 takes inspiration from these watches, the new one. So I think, hopefully, that will cause people to go back in the catalog and look at these type of watches because they are just truly incredible. It's more square shaped than a Cartier tank. I just really like this watch. Every time I look at it, I'm like, hey, I kind of want it for myself just to have it and then wear it and enjoy it and love it. But it needs to go to somebody who will really wear it way more often than I will, and this particular one isn't great, but I'm not going to talk too much on it. I just really, really love it. If you want to see more, there's a full video on my channel. So we're going to jump into the next piece. This is a Movado 18 karat. This particular one is a triple calendar. So that just means that it has the month, the day, and the date. Super handy. Now, this one also is super small compared to what watches are nowadays. But you have to remember, this is the same exact size as Winston Churchill wore. So I think that is pretty incredible. And he was not a skinny wrist guy. He was a big guy in history. Metaphorically and literally, he was a big guy. So he wore this watch. He loved this watch. Famously, he was gifted a Rolex solid gold Datejust. But before that, I believe it was before that, I know that he did have a Movado triple calendar in his collection. Quickly, I want to discuss Movado now today is more of a mall watch. It's not something considered high-end, but remember, they had such a long, rich history making movements for Tiffany's, and they had Tiffany signed watches. And there's just a lot of stuff, and Tiffany doesn't do anything. That's just one aspect of their history, but they don't cheap out. They don't let any brands in. It's not like that back then, especially. And they were the movements. They were the JLC was Pateks, and then Movado was Tiffany's. So that is just some interesting history I like to share. Now going to our next piece. Now this is a vintage piece. Right before the quartz crisis, they were making these. And this was something, I believe it's a Richard is the name on the dial, but it really doesn't matter the name on the dial. It just matters that these watches, this particular one's 18 karat rose gold, and it matters how cool, how good the movement is and all that. So triple calendar, so that of course that's the same as the Movado, but you'll also notice a moon phase. So that just tells you that the night cycle of the moons. It shows you the different, where it is basically in the day. So if you move it around, well, I should say when the days move, they move with it. So that just shows you if it's a full moon and such as that. That's what this particular movement is. Makes it a bit more complicated, and of course a lot of people like it. Very hard to set the moon phases, but just a little bit of time. Everything's about time and having patience. Our last piece is the Breitling. Now, I've discussed this to death on the channel, so I'm not going to discuss it super in depth, I should say, but it is just an incredible watch. If you want to know more about it, definitely check out the video. But it's a great all-around watch, insane money for value. If you wanted a brand or another watch with a different brand, you would be paying substantially more, and you're getting, in my opinion, a very high-end watch. Breitlings are really stepping their game up these last few years. So let me know if you enjoyed this type of video where we go over different kind of price points and show you different complications and what you can get in. This one I wanted to show a tribute to solid gold because I really do like gold watches. You have a rare metal you're working with, and of course it is soft, but that's the beauty about it and how these watches survived. So let me know all your opinions. If you're looking for any of these type of watches, you can email me down below. I also have my eBay link down below also. So thank you all, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.